Hey everybody, welcome to House Connell. Welcome to House Connell. Welcome back to BBN Bobina's Book Nook. My name is Regina Connell. So we're doing the nighttime edition. Welcome back to BBN Bobina's Book Nook. My name is Regina Connell. Welcome back to the Killing series by the authors Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. So we just finished laying down chapter 9 in Killing Jesus, the story of Jesus of Nazareth. And remember, they do not refer to Jesus as the Messiah, as it is a biography of the man Jesus of Nazareth. So they simply refer to him as Jesus of Nazareth, which is all he ever really, I believe, wanted us to do. Anyway, all right, so without further ado, I don't know why this sounds so crazy. Maybe it's just me and I'm getting tired. So anyway, okay, without further ado, we are in Killing Lincoln, chapter 4, the assassination that changed a nation or changed America forever. So Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard, Killing Lincoln, the assassination that changed America forever. All right, and this releases on Saturday, so let's jump right down. It's a pretty short chapter, so let's get in it. And like the Officer Tatum show, TatumPlus.com. Anyway, run on over to TatumPlus.com. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button on this if you like it. And run on over there and do everything that he tells you to do. All right, without further ado, we are in chapter 4. In Killing Lincoln. Here we go. Chapter 4, Tuesday, April 4, 1865. Newport, Rhode Island. Let me fix the camera real quick. There we go. That's better. I feel like I was in the corner there. Put baby in the corner. All right, chapter 4, Tuesday, April 4, 1865. Newport, Rhode Island. As blood flows in Virginia, wine flows in Rhode Island. Far removed from the horrors of the Civil War, it is here that John Wilkes Booth has traveled by train for a romantic getaway with his fiancée since the Revolutionary War. Newport has been a retreat for high society, known for yachting and mansions and gaiety. Now we know the word gay does carry many translations and meanings. I'd be willing to bet, though, that Mr. Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard were alluding to other gaieties than just the happy gay reference that we know of. Okay, let's continue on. I'll keep my opinions and commentary to a minimum. I'll try to, at least. All right, let's keep going. John Wilkes Booth is one of 8 children born to his flamboyant actor father, Junius Brutus Booth, a rogue, if there ever was one. Man, the name says it all, does it not? Let's say that name again. John Wilkes Booth is the son of Junius Brutus Booth. We all know what Brutus did, right? I mean, like, he delivered the final blow to Julius Caesar. All right, let's just keep going. Alrighty. Wow. Booth's father abandoned his first wife and 2 children in England and fled to America with an 18-year-old London girl who became Booth's mother. Booth was often lost in the confusion of the chaotic household. His father and brother eclipsed him as actors, and his upbringing was hectic, to say the least. Now, anger has become a way of life for him. Throughout his journey to Rhode Island, he has been barraged by news of the Southern demise. Northern newspapers are reporting that Richmond has fallen and that Confederate President Jefferson Davis and his entire cabinet fled the city just hours before. Union troops entered in cities like New York, Boston, and Washington. People are dancing in the streets as the rubble collapse appears to be imminent. It is becoming clear to Booth that he is a man with a destiny. the only man in America who can end the North's oppression. Something drastic must be done to preserve slavery, the Southern way of life, and the Confederacy itself. If Robert E. Lee can't get the job done, then Booth will have to do it for him. Oh man, this dude is delusional. And you know, he and they point out the similarities in killing Kennedy in A Note to Readers. Bill O'Reilly always does A Note to Readers, and either in the prologue or A Note to Readers, they do make that comparative between Lincoln and Kennedy and their assailants that took their lives, John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald. And there are so many similarities, both of them. I mean, they both were traitors, treacherous, treasonous traitors. I mean, and everything they did was self-serving. What did they ever do that was for the common good or for another person other than themselves? They ingratiated themselves. I mean, let's just keep going. I'll let Bill O'Reilly and Mr. Martin Dugard tell it because they do such a fine, fantabulous job of it. All right. These men were disturbed, highly disturbed. Let's keep going. Booth's hatred for Lincoln and his deep belief in the institution of slavery coalesced into a silent rage after the Emancipation Proclamation. And we all know what that was. If you don't, maybe I'll do another episode and cover that. Should be taught in schools, though. Let's keep going. It was only in August 1864 when a bacterial infection known as erysipelas sidelined him from the stage that Booth began using his downtime to recruit a gang that would help him kidnap Lincoln. This guy was a fool. All right. First, he contacted his old friends Michael O'Laughlin and Samuel Arnold. They met at Barnum's City Hotel in Baltimore, and after several drinks, Booth asked them if they would join his conspiracy. Both men agreed. From there, Booth began adding others, selecting them based on expertise with weapons, physical fitness, and knowledge of Southern Maryland's back roads and waterways. In October, Booth traveled to Montreal, where he met with agents of Jefferson Davis's. The Confederate president had set aside more than $1 million in gold to pay for acts of espionage and intrigue against the Union and housed a portion of the money in Canada. Booth's meeting with Davis's men not only provided funding for his conspiracy, it forged a direct bond between himself and the Confederacy. He returned with a check for $1,500, along with a letter of introduction that would allow him to meet the more prominent Southern sympathizers in Maryland, such as Samuel Mudd and John Surratt, who would become key players in his evil plan. Without their help, Booth's chances of successfully smuggling Lincoln out of Washington and into the Deep South would have been non-existent. After recovering from his illness, Booth immersed himself deeper into the Confederate movement, traveling with a new circle of friends that considered the kidnapping of Lincoln to be of vital national importance. He met with secret agents and sympathizers in taverns, churches, and hotels throughout the Northeast and down through Maryland, always expanding his web of contacts, making his plans more concise and his chances of success that much greater. What started as an almost abstract hatred of Lincoln has now transformed itself into the actor's life's work. This is crazy. This is lunacy. This is complete lunacy, and people do this shit. I don't know why I always do this. Yeah, this is total insanity. That's probably why I couldn't hear very well. This is outright lunacy, you guys. Lunacy. All right. Yet Booth is such a skilled actor and charismatic liar that no one outside the secessionist movement, not even his fiancée, has known the depth of his rage until today. Booth's betrothed, Lucy Lambert Hale, is the daughter of John Parker Hale, a staunchly pro-war senator from New Hampshire. She is dark-haired and full-figured, with blue eyes that have ignited a spark in the heart of many a man. Like Booth, she is used to having her way with the opposite sex, attracting beaux with a methodical mix of flattery and teasing. But Lucy is no soft touch. She can quickly turn indifferent and even cruel toward her suitors if the mood strikes her. Among those enraptured with Miss Hale is a future Supreme Court Justice, Oliver Wendell Holmes, Jr., now a 24-year-old Union officer. Also, John Hay, one of Lincoln's personal secretaries. And finally, none other than Robert Todd Lincoln, the president's 21-year-old son, also a Union officer. Despite her engagement to Booth, Lucy still keeps in touch with both Hay and young Lincoln, among many others. So now this has turned into some twisted love something or another. You can't even call it a triangle. A rectangle, more like it. All right. Strikingly pretty, Lucy appeals to Booth's vanity. When they are together, heads turn. The couple's initial passion was enough to overcome societal obstacles, at least in their minds. By March 1865, their engagement isn't much of a secret anymore, and they are even seen together at the second inaugural. But in the past month, with Lucy possibly accompanying her father to Spain and Booth secretly plotting against the president, their relationship has become strained. They have begun to quarrel. It doesn't help that Booth flies into a jealous rage whenever Lucy so much as looks at another man. One night, in particular, he went mad at the sight of her dancing with Robert Lincoln. Whether or not this has anything to do with his pathological hatred for the president will never be determined. Booth has told her nothing about the conspiracy or his part in it. She doesn't know that his hiatus from the stage was extended by his maniacal commitment to kidnapping Lincoln. She doesn't know about the secret trips to Montreal and New York to meet with other conspirators, nor about the hidden caches of guns or the buggy that Booth purchased specifically to ferry the kidnapped president out of Washington, nor about the money transfers that fund his entire operation. She doesn't know that his head is filled with countless crazy scenarios concerning the Lincoln kidnapping. And she surely doesn't realize that her beloved has a passion for New York City prostitutes and a sizzling young Boston teenager named Isabel Sumner, just 17 years old. Lucy knows none of that. All she knows is that the man she loves is mysterious and passionate and fearless in the bedroom. Perhaps, with all of Booth's subterfuge, it is not surprising that their lover's getaway to Newport is turning into a fiasco. Booth checked them into the Aquidneck House Hotel, simply signing the register as J.W. Booth and lady. He made no attempt whatsoever to pretend they were already married. They are already married. It's as if the couple is daring the innkeeper to question their propriety. There is no question that Booth is spoiling for a fight. He is sick of what he sees as the gross imbalance between the poverty of the war-torn South and the prosperity of the North. Other than the uniformed soldiers milling about the railway platforms, he saw no evidence during the train ride from Washington to Newport via Boston that the war had touched the North in any way. After checking into the hotel, he and Lucy walked the waterfront all morning. He wants to tell her about his plans, but the conspiracy is so vast and so deep that he would be a fool to sabotage it with a careless outburst. Instead, he rambles on about the fate of the Confederacy and about Lincoln, the despot. He's shared his pro-Southern leanings with Lucy in the past, but never to this extent. He rants endlessly about the fall of Richmond and the injustice of Lincoln having his way. Lucy knows her politics well, and she argues right back until at some point in their walk along the picturesque harbor with its sailboats and magnificent seaside homes, it becomes clear that they will never reach a common ground. Toward evening, they stop their fighting and walk back to the Aquidneck house. Despite John Wilkes Booth's many infidelities, Lucy Hale is the love of his life. She is the only anchor that might keep him from committing a heinous crime, effectively throwing his life away in the process. In her eyes, he sees a happy future, replete with marriage, children, and increased prosperity as he refocuses on his career. They can travel the world together, mingling with high society wherever they go, thanks to her father's considerable connections. All he has to do is to choose that love over his insane desire to harm the president. All he has to do is choose that love over his insane desire to harm the president. And what kills me the most is, he seems so indignified and outraged and offended, that the North is living in luxury. But yet he's trying to live that champagne life with them. And it seems to me that, the only reason he really is with Lucy or whatever, he wants to prosper too. So, what does he care is what kills me. Like, he didn't even really know Lincoln, but let's keep going. And now we know that it's probably just came from his stewing, green-eyed monster jealousy of President Lincoln's son. Maybe, his Lucy's easy on the eyes, and the president's son has noticed her, and he doesn't like that very much. So, I don't know. Let's continue on. We're almost done with chapter 4. Booth tells the desk clerk that Lucy isn't feeling well and that they will take their evening meal in the bedroom. Upstairs, there is ample time for lovemaking before their food is delivered. But the acts of intimacy that made this trip such an exotic idea have been undone by the news about Richmond. They will never make love again after tonight, and both of them sense it. Rather than spend the night together, Booth and Lucy pack their bags and catch the evening train back to Boston, where she leaves him to be with friends. Booth is actually relieved. He has made his choice. Now, no one stands in his way. Okay, well, that's chapter 4 of Killing Lincoln. Thank you, guys. And if you like this, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Again, this is Killing Lincoln by the authors Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. All right, so I'm going to end this recording, and we'll go ahead and pick up chapter 4 of Killing Kennedy, and then we'll be all caught up on our work for, is it this coming week or the next 2 weeks? I don't know. I'll have to look at the calendar. All right, guys, thank you so much. And remember, on Mondays and Wednesdays, we have To Kill a Mockingbird. a Pulitzer Prize winning novel. We're almost done with that one. I think we only have like 11 chapters to go. Yeah. And then, so on Mondays, then what will be taking its place is, I was going to do Code Talker, but I think I'm going to go ahead and slip in Son of Hamas by Masab Hassan Youssef and Ron Brackman, because I think it's a really important story to get out there. And especially in light of what's going on in the world today, and with the recent news with the Iranian president, believed to be dead. His helicopter went down, and they found the crash site, and it's not looking good for them. And I'll remind everybody, Hassan Basmet, when he was delivering his hate speech of, that that Allah was going to vanquish all of us, that Allah probably killed him. I don't think Allah even exists, but I will say this. The whole damn thing is a sham. It's a sham. It's a sham. That's all I can say. I've done my research. Anyway, let's continue on. And these damn kids on these college campuses, especially American kids, that's what pisses me off the worst. Forgive my language. Welcome to BB and Bobina's Book Nook. Anyway, they don't even know why they're angry. They don't even know what they're fighting. They think that these people are oppressed. They know nothing of those people's history. Nothing of it. Right? Why don't you worry about what's going on in the United States, first of all? Anyway, I could go on that rant forever. I feel you, Officer Tatum. All right, guys, don't forget to check out Hood News Radio. They are on every platform: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, right here on YouTube. And look, he's got the Before the Internet series and a bunch of great stuff coming out. My favorite that he just released was the Skytanic. So anyway, y'all keep doing the great thing. We thank you, and see you next time here on BB and Bobina's Book Nook. My name is Regina Connell. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.